Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. First case that we have is cause number 333340-2. The case is style State of Texas versus Christopher Lee Glassy. Mr. Glassy, would you please come forward? Mr. Glassy, is your full name Christopher Lee Glassy?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Glassy, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Glassy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Glassy, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Glassy? That's good. Mr. Glassy, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating that you want this case to be reset to hire your own attorney? Now, Mr. Glassy, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the document? Did you understand what you read?
There was a form saying, actually, we need a loan hire attorney or request a court attorney.
Okay, now, is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Glassy, your case is going to be reset to give you an opportunity to hire your attorney. You're going to stand on the 4X in front of our court coordinator. She's going to reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day. You have to go through the same door you came out. Ambrosia DeCarey Roy. Now, Ms. Roy, is your full name Ambrosia DeCarey Roy?
Decory, please.
Hmm?
Decory, please.
You said Nakari.
Decory.
Dakar, okay. Ambrosia DeCarey Roy. Okay, how you doing, Ms. Roy?
I'm fine.
That's good, Ms. Roy. Would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Roy, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Roy, you may put your hand down. Now, Ms. Roy, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
And are these your initials on the line stating you want your case to be reset to hire your own attorney?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Roy, before you sign and initial this document, did you read the document?
Yes,
Did you
sir.
understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
And Ms. Roy, your case is going to be reset to give you an opportunity to hire your attorney. Ms. Roy, just have a seat at that table right there. And when he's finished at the window, you're going to go to the window. Next case is cause number 333-318. Case is style of state of Texas versus Shantavia Monique Ann Nobles. Ms. Nobles, your full name is Shantavia Monique Ann Nobles.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Nobles, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Nobles, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Like she has two cases, huh? One case wasn't set today?
I'll put them on the Sunday.
Okay, I need to put this on the. And the next case is cause number 333-762. Okay, Ms. Nobles, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Nobles, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, you may put your hand down. Ms. Nobles, how are you doing?
Good.
That's good. Ms. Nobles, I have two documents before me. The first document is titled, Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Mm-hmm.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Mm-hmm.
And are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
The other document that I have is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant Signature?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Nobles, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Ms. Nobles, I read your responses. Based on your responses, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Langston Adams. Ms. Nobles, you're going to stand on the X in front of our court coordinator. She's going to give you information on how to contact Mr. Adams. And Mr. Adams will be given information on how to contact you. Once you get that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
You can just go.
Next case is cause number 331-318. Case is style of State of Texas versus Donald Glenn Gresham. Mr. Gresham, is your full name Donald Glenn Gresham?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gresham, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Gresham, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Gresham, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Gresham?
Yes, fine, okay.
That's good. I'm doing fine as well. Mr. Gresham, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney? Next document is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Mr. Gresham, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And on page 2 of the same document, Mr. Gresham, is the signature on the line that's titled Defendant. Is that your signature on the line is titled Defendant Signature?
Yes.
Mr. Gresham, before you signed and initialed these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Sure.
Mr. Gresham, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Mark Faggart. Attorney Faggart will be given information on how to contact you, And you will also be given information on how to contact him. Our court coordinator will give you that information. Mr. Gresham, please just have a seat back there. And then when the court coordinator is ready for you, she'll call you to the window. And once you finish at the window, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And you have a blessed day as well, Ms. Nobles. Next case is call number 333-312. Case is filed, the state of Texas versus Kelsey Pugh. Ms. Pugh, is your full name Kelsey Pugh?
Kelsey Pugh.
Okay. Ms. Pugh, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Pugh, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Pugh, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Pugh? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. Pugh, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials on the line stating you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney? I also have a document that's titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Pugh, there's a signature above the line that's titled defendant signatures. This your signatures. Now, Ms. Pugh, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Pugh, I read your answers in these documents. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Peter Doyle. Attorney Doyle will be given information on how to contact you. You will also be given information on how to contact him. Our court reporter will give you that, court coordinator will give you that information. Please have a seat at that table. Kelsey Pugh. No, before you do that, Ms. Pugh, I also have some bond conditions that I need to give you. And I'll go over these bond conditions with you. That document is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Code of Law number 2. Do you see that title?
Yes, sir.
And it reads, following arrest and or accusation in County Code of Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or against the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
And condition number 3, the defendant shall now communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any school or near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 4 doesn't apply to you. That only applies in the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. Now, Ms. Pugh, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Pugh, please have a seat at the table. And once our court coordinator is going to give you information on how to contact your attorney. Once you get that information, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Excuse me.
Hold on. Next case is cause number 332-406. Melvin Davis Yallman. Okay, is your full name Melvin Davis Yeoman?
Yes.
Mr. Yeoman, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Yeoman, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Yeoman?
The next court.
That's good. Now, Mr. Yeoman, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Or these your initials on the line stating you would like to apply for a court-appointed attorney? The next document I have is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant's Signature. Is this your signature? Now, Mr. Yeoman, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Yeoman, I've read your answers in these documents. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of court-appointed attorney. The attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole will be given information on how to contact you. You will also be given information on how to contact him by our court coordinator. Mr. Yeoman, I also have a document that I need to give to you, Mr. Bailey. Please hand this to Mr. Yeoman. These are standard bond conditions in County Code at Law number 2. Do you see the title, standard bond conditions in County Code at Law number 2? Yeah, I will go over this document with you, and it reads, following the arrest and or accusation in County Code at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the following additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 4 doesn't apply to you. That only applies in the DWI case. Your case is not a DWI case. Now, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest, and you'll be placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Yeoman, as I mentioned earlier, our court coordinator will reset your case. And once your case is reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. Please stand on the exit in front of our court coordinator. You're welcome. Next case is cause number 331606. Case is called State of Texas versus Christina Marie George. Ms. George, your full name is Christina Marie George. Ms. George, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. George, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. George, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. George?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Ms. George, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Defendant's Right Without an Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line stating that you would like to waive your right to an attorney and to represent yourself?
Oh, no.
Well, that's, okay. Okay, you could get it back to her. She need to make the change if she needs to. Just for you waiving your right to attorney, yeah,
Okay, all right. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I was confused.
okay. Now, Ms. George, is this your signature online that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials online saying you want to waive your right to attorney to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Now, I also have a document that's titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilt if you are proceeding to trial. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Ms. George, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Ms. George, read your responses. Just have a seat and the prosecutor, will talk to you in a few minutes.
The attorney's name is John Cole. The next court date is February 13th. He should be contacting you at this number.
Desmond, Dwayne, Ned,
If he does not call him at this
Hmm?
number. Thank you.
Damon?
Yeah.
Damon, Dwayne, Ned?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that your full name, Damon, Dwayne Ned? Mr. Ned, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ned, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Ned, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Ned? That's good, Mr. Ned. I have before me two documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights of Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? And are these your initials on the line stating you want to waive your right to attorney and represent yourself? I also have a document that is titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Mr. Ned, before you sign and initial all of these documents that I just mentioned to you, did you read the document?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, Mr. Ned, just have a seat. We're gonna have the prosecutor talk to you in a few minutes. Next two cases, cause number 332-770 and cause number 333-184. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Coretta G. Griffin. Mr. Griffin, is your full name Beretta G. Griffin?
Beretta Jean.
Beretta Jean Griffin. Mr. Griffin, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Griffin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Mr. Griffin, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Griffin? That's good. You doing all right?
Yeah, I wanted to say something if you didn't mind.
Well, let me ask you these questions first. Now, Mr. Griffin, I have before me a document that's titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Right, I made a mistake with that.
Okay, let me do this here. Can you get this back to him? You can have a seat at that table and make your correction. Right there. Give me one pen.
What are you saying you want to do? Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's the next one.
Okay, okay. You can have a seat back at that table.
Scratch this out.
Mhm.
Let's see, I want to-
Um,
Yeah, listen.